Hello and good evening. Welcome to SKTV and you're watching the Manipur Files. I'm your host for tonight, UTPALA LONGJAM. Today we will be discussing a very pressing and a poignant issue, community breakdown, living with threats. This topic is not theoretical but a reality lived by the people in conflict-torn Manipur. Community is the bedrock of our society. It gives us our identity, our support and sense of belonging. But with constant threats like ethnic conflict, insurgency and systemic violence, the fabric of society that holds them together frays. The trust that is there within the community erodes, social cohesion disintegrates, and the community spirit is replaced by fear, suspicion and isolation. To discuss on this topic, we have an esteemed panelists, experts of panelists with us tonight. I'd like to welcome our panelists for tonight's debate. On my left, we have Mr. N. BUPENDA, Advocate, Manipur High Court. Welcome to the Manipur Files. Next, we have Mr. P. SONAMANI, Socio-Political Commentator. Welcome to the Manipur Files, Mr. P. SONAMANI.
Sure, and thank you, UTPALA.
Last but not the least, we have Mr. N. SATYAJEET, Bureau Head, UNI. Welcome to the Manipur Files. So once again, a warm welcome to our expert panelists. Let's begin the topic of today's debate. And the first question for tonight will be for Mr. N. BUPENDA. Well, we see that there are different causes of community breakdown. There seems to be a significant breakdown of community cohesion, not just among different communities, but within the same community as well. And crime rates seem to have increased. Can you please give us your view on this occurrence, the number of crime that is taking place in today's society as a direct result of the conflict, the ongoing 15 months long conflict?
Well, the turmoil has been unprecedented in the history of Manipur and also in the history of our country. It is indeed a matter of serious concern because it's been 14 months. Our economy has been in complete shambles. If you see the manner in which the trade and commerce is taking place, the businesses, since everything has failed. Usually people may talk about internally displaced persons in relief schemes. But I believe that the entire state has almost been converted into a big relief scheme, wherein the entire population has been displaced.
Right.
Displaced from their jobs, displaced from their businesses, displaced from their normal way of life, displaced even from their own way of thinking. So the issue is, every day the criminal activities have almost become normal.
Right.
And the law enforcing agencies have to be proactive. But now the situation has come to such an extent that rather than even being proactive, we sometimes find difficult to see them even reactive, responding on time. Now supposing if there is a crime, we expect that the crime needs to be recorded, needs to be registered, maybe by the complainant. If there is no complainant, then let the state takes it in the form of suo motu case. So how many suo motu cases have been taken up so far in the last 14 months? Where are the FIRs? We have seen so many crimes in different forms, not only in the form of extortion, but also in the form of sextortions.
Right, right.
Recently in Delhi High Court, they have already given an observation saying that sextortion is going to be a huge social menace. It's going to be a huge problem in a society. Then we will like to see how the state is responding to it. People are suffering, no doubt. There is no jobs. Economy has gone into doldrums. But at the end of the day, we will like to see normalcy being restored. But it's going to be 1.5 years. So the issue is, if supposing there is an extortion, if supposing there is a whether there is a criminal activity only or there is an element of having a sort of a terrorist activity. In some houses of some persons, there has been hurling of hand grenades.
Absolutely.
Not only a mere hurling of hand grenades, but also the grenades are getting exploded. This appears to be like a foreign terrorist coming and taking our own houses. But the question remains is what is the state doing? How many of them have been named, and within how many hours, and how many of them have been reported? So that's the whole point. But then we are in constant fear. We don't know, because we are fighting with an unknown enemy. So this constant fear has been affecting our entire population, not only psychologically, not only financially, not only in any otherwise manner, but we all are made to be in a condition, in a state where we really don't know what will happen to us.
Right.
So we are in constant fear. We are not only in constant fear from some unknown human elements, but also from our unknown climatic changes.
Absolutely. Right.
We are now living in a fear because we fear that petrol prices, we fear because there may be a non-availability of fuel, petrol, including LPG cooking gases. We fear that tomorrow, if there is a rain for 3 days, continuous days here in the city or in Manipur, there is likely to be a flood, a flash flood. So we are in constant fear. So even in this April of 2024, Supreme Court has given its own verdict saying that the right to life in Article 21 of the Constitution also includes that our right to live in which the adverse climatic conditions should not affect us. So our entire understanding of Article 21, which talks about right to life, it actually has become so wide, and that plays a very crucial role in our case here in the state of Manipur. Even if there is an emergency, let it be national emergency or financial or otherwise, even in that situation also Article 21 right to life is not being curtailed. But here, where is our right to life? Right to life includes life with dignity, life with human dignity. Where is human dignity? You go anywhere. So this is a high time the state should proactively intervene. There has to be a proper roadmap. There has to be a revamp of our economic activities right from the grassroots level.
Right.
Otherwise, every day the crime rate will go up. But the state has to record a crime. The state also has to deal with it properly. But then we don't see such things. We will like to see even the state forces, particularly the police, going on a night patrol. We will like to see the CCTVs are getting efficiently activated, because in today's scenario we have to rely on high tech. Otherwise it will be very difficult to nab any of the culprits. So it is not only merely napping the culprits, the state has to come out with a proper policy, because this is an unprecedented event. This can't be made as a normal situation, and there has to be a condemnation too from the societies too. We must unanimously condemn any form of such activity, because otherwise where will we go? Many of us have left the state also. Businesses have left, many people have left, and now further the bright minds will be forced to leave the state, and they may go somewhere else in some parts of the country or maybe abroad. But that is not going to bring any good systems in the state. So there has to be a rule of law.
Well,
good government has
NINGOMBAM, do you think there is a do you think people are hesitating in approaching the police because police have their jurisdictions?
No. Supposing if there is any bomb blast, if there is any criminal activity, any crime, when a crime is committed, it is not only committed against that victim, it is deemed to be committed against the state. So whenever there is any rape case, whenever there is any extortion case, be whatever, but the idea remains, if we don't find any complainant, the complainant should come out rather.
Right.
But then if we don't find any complainant, then the state ought to take up a necessary call. Otherwise the entire society will be reduced into a chaotic situation.
Yes, absolutely. Right, thank you for your views. My next question is for Mr. P. Sonamani. Well, sir, it seems like we've come to a point where, as Mr. N. Bupenda just mentioned, it seems like the public is being held to ransom with so many new developments coming up every day. The recent, now the one that we are anticipating is the strike, which is supposed to be the fuel tanker strike, the services that are going to be stopped, as it is mentioned, from the 1st of August of 2024. So do you think it's fair? I understand there is the illegal taxes and the extortion happening at their end. But again, this has a lot of cascading effects on the public, on the common people. And this is, do you think this is a good move by them, or do you think there's another alternative that could be taken up?
UTPALA, good evening to you and to my colleagues and your editor-in-chief, Mr. Philip, and the world who are listening it. I bow my head to all of you. UTPALA, this cannot be taken a very light. This extortion is secondary issue now. Extortion, yes, this is, it has become part of life, particularly in Nagaland or in some parts of these hilly areas. Yes, I was there about 60 years. I'm little familiar, if not wholly I know it. Let me go back little how this in Manipur situations, it is, we are in the volcano now. Present situations, it has gone beyond the control of the Manipur government and the central government. Central government is very much not very keen at all, according to me, to solve this issue. This is a very, very serious thing, what I'm pointing finger on the government of India. Of course, Manipur government has totally failed. So we were expecting that the government of India will do her justice, but she has not done it at all. This is another number one. Today we see that Manipur state, as you are fully aware it was an erstwhile and independent nation. We merged with the government with India, either willfully or not willingly. So there is a merger, pre-merger. These questions, a lot of things are going on still. It is bringing up in our mind. In a nutshell, that we were not at all very clear that concept that we merged wholeheartedly with all our demands and whatever, say like the Jammu Kashmir, etc. That we could have done it, we could not do it. We were coerced or we were forced to sign it. So many things goes on. Anyway, this is a past chapter. Manipur is a part and parcel of the Indian Union.
Yes.
Security, when the Manipur government fails, it is absolutely, it is the responsible of the government of India. She should intervene and she should douse the fire, which we see that government of India has not done it and is not doing at all. This is another serious question. As I said, Manipur government totally failed. Right. There is no other discussion further. Today, whatever the incidents taking place, extortion is secondary thing. Taking lives of a different community, one community, another community is taking life, then explode, then again throwing bomb, then explosion, killing, and rather butchering it, and confine a community, a particular community coming from across the country, coming and trying to capture and trying to swallow it and trying to, we all people, the indigenous, independent, we the Manipurese community, this is undisputed fact. They wanted to drive it out and they wanted to swallow it. They created a huge problem in Manipur. But the government of India is not trying to solve the issue. Manipur government, as I said again and again, it has gone beyond the ambit, beyond the power of the Manipur government. So it is needless to discuss about the Manipur government. This government is a puppet government. Okay, let us drop in now. Now, what is the role of the government of India? When the state government fails to handle or to tackle the situations in the law and order, it's not the imperative duty on the part of the government of India. Why you are not intervening it? We people, there are 35 communities. Manipur is one of the most peaceful states. That's what everybody, you'll see that the Tamil, you'll see that 70,000 Tamil people coming from the erstwhile Burma, They came, they sheltered in India. Today maybe 10-15,000 are here in the More. Remaining part they have scattered either in the Tamil Nadu or some other countries they have gone. This is their own will. Bengalis, Nepalese, Assamese, Marwadis, these Tamil, then what is called every community. They may not be in a very larger size. It's a small state. Everybody was living in a very peacefully and cohesively. There was no any questions. Nobody, everybody wanted to come and settle here. In spite of that, all kinds of the worst road, yet they wanted to settle here, and we were living peacefully. All of a sudden, this particular community, this Chin Cookie Joe, not all Chin Cookie Joe are bad, but these illegal immigrants, which the Home Minister, Mr. Amit Shah, he himself, he admitted that. These are all due to illegal immigrants. But he goes and changing his statement 2-3 times. So I don't pay much attention about this. But he said that this is the illegal immigrants because of them. And this suspension of operations, about 2,300 to 2,400 of them are supposed to be in their own camp along with the arms and ammunition. They are not supposed to move out. Then the picking up the arms question doesn't arise, because one key is with the government of India of the box of the arms, then one key is with them. Lot of their agreement tripartite talk is there, and they are not supposed. They say that we will not create any uncongenial atmosphere, we will not create it, and we will not do anything which will be disintegrate about the Manipur. That also they sign it. The documents are there. Anyway, these are all past now. It has become a now communal issue now. How and why? This is the thing. They say that we have meted out the injustice to them. I don't know, God knows it. Who has done it? And we say that you were killing us. It is true. We are almost all, we are armless people. And in the midst of this, the serious crisis, there is a serious allegations on the government of India's armed forces people. Since the government of India, Prime Minister and the Home Minister, they refuse to come. They have not uttered the word refuse word. I'm sorry by saying that. But from their behavior, they never intended to come till now.
Right.
Let the people go and killing, butchering in each other, so and so. What matters? Might be thinking that way.
Could this also be another reason why the memorandum that was given on the 11th of July to the Prime Minister of India and also to the Transport Minister regarding the fuel, the extortion?
Exactly. Obviously. Yeah. So you are right. So there is a crisis of rice. There is a crisis of fuel every day. There is a shooting up of the commodities prices.
Right.
I was about 2-3 months before. I was in GD and Assam, some parts I was there. Just attended some meeting, the CSO's meeting. You see that some items of the vegetable which cost there 15-20 rupees was selling 80 rupees in Imphal.
Right.
Kindly imagine.
That's true.
See, more than 300%. Any item, you see that this is not sufficient, that Manipur, whatever we grow, what we consume is not sufficient. We have to import from the outside. See, even the fees, we have to import from the Hyderabad, also Telangana, or from the Andhra Pradesh. Without fees, that we can't live it. Vegetables, we have to import either from the Punjab, Haryana, the potatoes, onion, then the pulse, so many things you have to import, the oil and so many things. You see, this is a everyday affair. This has been completely blocked it now, and if they are to be translated through this, the criminals, people who have, they have lined up either in the Manipur area, and this extortion is in the Nagaland or in some other area in a very horrible way. There are more than 20, 25, 30 groups are there.
Right.
I spent about 30, 35, 40 years in that state. There are the government officials, there are the police, there are narcotics, there are the municipal corporations, there are what you will call it, that the local people club, then the forest department, then everybody is after the Manipur vehicle. Underground, overground, everybody. So there is about 34 to 35 groups are looting or extorting, sucking our blood in my language. And and on top of that now, this another Chin Kuki Jo terrorist group, they have put more fuel in the fire.
Right.
They started again the sucking blood from both sides now. Neither we are allowed to go. Who is responsible for this? It is the government of India. Because as I said, that Manipur government is handicapped. Needless to discuss it. We are sorry. They are our guardian. But still, they cannot do it. So government of India is less interest. So let the Manipur burn. Let the Manipur go to hell. Is it the principle or is it the way that government of India, you consider that Manipur is a part of India? I feel that no. We don't feel like that we are a part of India. The way you are meting out or the way you are treating us is, we don't feel very comfortable, because this is a very unfortunate thing. If the government of India wishes, my colleague has already said, High Court advocate, if the government of India, if she wishes, it will take only one day. Why the army has not intervened? हमें कोई आदेश नहीं मिला. Why the paramilitary force, the Assam Rifle, they become just a mere spectators. I say again, Assam Rifle, they have become a mere spectator. क्या करें, हमें हुक्म नहीं मिला. How about the central forces, CAPF? Even a CRPF, they cordoned the Manipur police with the Casper vehicle. How dare the CRPF forces, they cordoned the Manipur police station. So Manipur police station, there was a ding-dong battle. They had to pick up the gun. They were almost ready to fire in each other. This is the attitude of the government of India, your forces. So government of India, this is, I must say that I strongly condemn. I strongly feel you have no interest to solve the issue. And that's why taking advantage with these Chin Cookie terrorists, this side, another side, extortion from another side. Now it is in a number of 40, 50 groups. Extortion is 300 rupees, 500 rupees, 1,000. Whatever they want, you ought to pay. Question does not arise.
Absolutely.
Then how do we leave it?
Yes.
Now the Manipur government goes and asking that, till now I don't know what will happen, what will be the outcome. We do not know.
Right.
Ram Bharase. We pray to God, Bhagwan bachao hame. Abhi bacha sakte ho. This is no Manipur police gone, security advisor, I don't know what he is doing, DGP what he is doing, we do not know. 355 article is hanging, swindling in both sides, said, marne wala marte jao, jeene wala jiyo, jiska paas paisa hai wo jiyega, jo nahi, then let you go to hell.
Yes,
Government of India, this is not good. We request you to intervene at the earliest. If you think that you wanted to contain, you wanted to, you consider that Manipur is a part and parcel state of India. If you feel so, intervene immediately, solve the issue. Who is right, who is wrong? It is up to you, and let the court decide it. But you restore the peace and harmony in Manipur at the earliest. This is my humble appeal to you.
Very strong emotions from Mr. P. Sonamani there, and I hope it is heard by the concerned persons. I'll come back to you, Mr. P. Sonamani. Thank you so much for your views. My next question is for Mr. N. Satyajeet. Well, with the government's inability to address the conflict, and this has actually fostered a sense of insecurity among the people of Manipur. So this basically led, we all know that this has led to the insurgency groups gaining popularity even as protectors for the people. But also those groups which had been lying dormant all these years, for the past so many years, now they seem to be becoming active, and they seem to have come out from their bases. So this has led to a significant rise, as we are talking about extortion cases. This has led to a significant rise in extortion from not only, now we were discussing about the fuel tanker, not only to them but also to the common people, to educational establishments and so many other businesses. What would you like to add to this, and can you tell us the cascading effects of this occurrence?
Utpala, I would first say that the situation in Manipur is not so good. We have seen the budget presented very recently, and it did not reflect much about Manipur, unfortunately. Right. And I would say that we have seen a become that the absence of administration, absence of good governance. The first thing which the people of Manipur require is good governance. Good governance is something which is lacking, which is not seen, and which is not observable. So, and the absence of good governance has led to a creation of a vacuum, which was filled by so many things, wanted and unwanted. The vacuum, it can be economic, it can be security, it has many aspects. The economic vacuum has created two serious problems in our society. It has created problems, and when some crisis occurs, the people who are affected most are women and children, and poor people. When there's a crisis, those who are rich, those who can protect themselves, they are able to somehow survive. But in Manipur, in such a scenario, in now, women and children and the poor, they are not able to live a respectable life. And I would say that after the French Revolution and after the end of the Second World War, we have seen some changes, that people need not to be in chains. People need to have to live a life with dignity. And it has been enshrined in, and the United Nations has formed so many commissions, and the matter was also discussed in the UN forum recently. So in this aspect, Manipur needs to do something so that we can help those who have been affected. And coming to insurgency and all, you can say that Manipur is a place where revolutions have taken place. For example, you can say in England we have seen Industrial Revolution, England bloom. And then in France we have seen so many political thinkers blooming. So we saw French Revolution, we have seen American Revolution. So Manipur is such a place where there are so many talented people. They are ready to explore. They need a place where they can explore new adventures, where they can express themselves artistically, theoretically, whatever, scientifically, and all those have been stopped. And when you stop an energy, the energy will explode. You cannot, for example, you cannot put the fire under control. Fire will burn everything. So Manipur is going through that crisis. Earlier it had come to a semblance of normalcy, but unfortunately after the 3rd May 2023, we have seen complete collapse of economy, complete collapse of security scenario, and everything has gone haywire. And in this aspect, the people of Manipur, since they are talented, since they have all the resources, and since they're very good thinkers, they need to explore a way from where they can reach to a new platform. And in this aspect also, when you do not have any work, when you don't have any money, people started thinking wrong, evil things. So it starts, for example, if I don't have any money to buy good, and if I was a little younger, I can start doing illegal activities. I can start, and people start looking for easy money. So that's where the problems start. So that's why we have seen a proliferation of intimidation. We have seen intimidation, and we have seen so many. Since we all live in the media houses, we see so many reports of people hurling grenades, people hurling, threatening, people receiving threatening letters. These were expected. These were expected because when a crime occurs, we expect the government to come in and intervene. In Manipur, we have seen that when a crime occurs, there is no proper action taken up by the government. When a crime occurs, if the government intervenes and take preventive measures, then such crime will not repeat again. When you, for example, in a locality, some crime occurs, if you catch the culprit, then you will send a message to others who are thinking of doing such evil things, that if we do such things, we will be arrested. But the problem here is we lack a proper investigation system where the police can investigate, file charge sheet, and the judiciary can take up proper actions. And we have to remind ourselves that it is not our duty to take actions against the criminals. It is not our duty to give them punishment. It is the duty of the government. So that is why the responsibility of the state is paramount in such a crisis. And in this aspect, BUPENDA has also given an example. In most of the developed nations, they have established a very wonderful CCTV system, traffic system, and everything is regulated. So, so what the criminals say is, you should be very careful that your activities should be caught, and then your movement will be caught. So even in Manipur also, in some areas where there are CCTV cameras are installed, they hide their faces. Still, I mean, the way they walk, I mean, from their character, from their physical characters, people can be arrested also. So such activities, I think we haven't heard much. We haven't seen such. We have heard of smart political, smart criminal activists. It was installed in the previous government, but we haven't seen being activated. So the first priority would be now to arrest those persons. I mean, it's the responsibility of the police. They should come in, they should intervene, and they should arrest those persons who are involved in such criminal activities. And they should send out a message to all the people of Manipur that a government exists, and they are ready to take action. And the other aspect which is important is transparency. Transparency is important because when a government acts, it should be transparent, it should be accountable, and the people should know what the government is doing. So the role of the executive, the role of the judiciary, the role of the legislature are extremely important in such critical time. And Manipur is, and if you look all other civilized nations, for example, the Roman civilization, the British civilizations, they depend their existence on good roads, good connectivity. But the problem in Manipur is, as we were discussing in the previous round with SONAMANI, was we have very poor connectivity. We are surrounded by the hills.
Right.
It is a natural hurdle. Then the other is the man-made hurdle. Man-made hurdle is the blocked by our by the cookie groups, the militants, the women, the children. They are all coming out and blocking the national highways. So we are choked.
Yes.
We are not able to breathe properly. So, and we are not able to think properly. Also, we don't have the money, and we rather even if we have the money, we do not have the goods to buy.
Yes.
Things are very costly. Things and we are discussing about LPG. We don't have LPG now. We don't have. We are purchasing at huge prices, 2,000 plus. So everybody is in crisis. And said, as I said, when people are in a crisis, they are not able to think properly, and when they are not able to think properly, they do wrong things. So when such a chaos or such crisis occur, I mean, all the three agencies, especially the judiciary, the legislature, and the executive, they should rise to the occasion and act. And if you look at the developed nations, when such crises occur, they act very fast. For example, Russia, when they started, after around 1928, when after the First World War, they started 5-year plans, good communication, development, progress. And India also, after 1947, India adopted the 5-year plans from Russia. Similar, it was also taken up by Korea. It was also taken up by China also. But they did it very well. During the 5, 10, 15, 20 years, they were able to provide good communication, industrial revolution, everything was done. But unfortunately in India, still after, say, even though we got independence in 1947, we are still dreaming of having a railway station in Imphal, in the state headquarters. When we have a proper communication, we will be able to have good prices, goods in good prices. We will be able to get everything. So I think good communication, good governance, transparency, these are all important to resolve the crisis. Due to the absence of all these crises, we are witnessing the problems, and all those especially young friends, I would appeal to them also, who are doing the activities also, that they should think good. They should think of their future. They have a very long future. Even if they are caught, and if they are involved in a police case, then they will not be able to get jobs. They will have problems in the future. They should think of their future, and so people should stop thinking of earning easy money. Easy money, easy life, they are very bad. So one should start thinking of easy money, easy learning, and they should come out of that thing, and they should strive to have good money through good activities.
Right. Thank you so much for your views. Now, let's moving ahead. Again, I'd like to continue actually with the easy money concept, and this question is for Mr. N. Bhupenda. Well, apart from the extortion cases rising, there are several groups of people who are roaming around with different reasons and excuses, asking for financial aid. They even carry cards with registration numbers, and it all seems very genuine. And people, we are even, we cannot really question them about their authenticity, because as we're discussing in this debate, that people are living under threat. So we are scared to, the common people generally are usually afraid that this might lead to some sort of an unpleasant outcome, with maybe if it's a genuine organization, they might just come and take out their anger and frustration for refusal of such money. Now, this is, and as Mr. N. Satyajeet just mentioned, this is, I would say, this is, some of them are looking for easy money by going around asking for money from door to door, which is, so now what I'm trying to say is there any way that we can curb this issue apart from reporting to the police? There was an article which did say that the people of the locality should get together and discourage such activities, but is there any way that we can actually prevent it? Because as we see, there's the unity among people is not very high in the valley area, and we see that there's a lot of conflict among the people also of the same community. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, more than unity, it is about rule of law. Supposing if some people come and if they need some help, and if they are really asking for some voluntary help, then there is no harm in giving or aiding any voluntary help.
Okay.
In the form or in any manner that a donor can give. But it should not be coerce, it should not be force, it should be made voluntary. Maybe a 5 rupee or 10 rupee, or maybe in the form of some bag of rice or some bag of vegetables. That's a different story. That's actually a humanitarian problem.
Right.
But then, if any form of group of people comes, or any person comes and starts extorting, which is illegal, then that has to be taken as per law, because in law, extortion is illegal, and any illegality has to be not only condemned, but it has to be booked, and it has to be dealt as per law of the country, as per the law of the land. So the issue is, of course, there are many organizations which come out to be in the form of social organizations, and when they are asking for some financial help or support, there are many people who normally give, and there are also people who in fact don't want to give. That is their personal choice.
Right.
But if somebody comes and threatens you, coerces you, makes you to pay them the amount that they are actually asking, then that is not seeking any sort of help. That is nothing but an extortion. So that is a different point. But then the larger issue is, we are talking about easy money. Why is that? Because Narega has failed. We go to rural areas, the hard case in the ground reality, there is hardly any hard case. We go into small businesses have failed. So the hard case in the form of money, that is to be in the hands of in the lowest rung in the economic systems, that is getting depleted in the last 14 months. So people are being forced to see different ways of earning and living their livelihood. Some have gone into prostitution, but though prostitution, Supreme Court has said that prostitution is not illegal per se, but then it has to be registered, it has to be contained, it has to be regulated.
Okay.
It can't merely spread out, then it becomes a total chaos, social menace.
Can you also talk about the mob justice related to all of these problems?
Well, so there is nothing like mob justice, it's a misnomer. No mob can give justice. Justice has to be delivered by judiciary, by the court, by the honorable judges.
Right.
Mob can never give any justice. And earlier, if there's an accused, people used to go and destroy the houses.
Yes.
Entirely burn the houses. Now, in the new Bharat Nyaya Samiti BNS Sanhita, there is even a harsh punishment which goes up to the extent of 15 years or even life imprisonment too. So the country is evolving, and in that, the nature of dealing mob is also getting changed. But then, more than that, what I would like to stress is, yesterday we welcomed the first Justice of Honorable Supreme Court from Manipur,
right.
Mr. Justice Nomekapam Koteswar Singh.
Yes.
And he also has expressed his opinion in a very optimistic way that yes, Manipur is going to bounce back. Manipur will bounce back.
Okay.
That is the level of optimism that he has. And that is a level of optimism that we do also share. So now the issue is, why such things are happening in Manipur in the form of people trying to get into easy money, people trying to, people getting into so many criminal activities, and the state is looking almost helpless.
Right.
The state cannot remain helpless. Who will be held responsible for it? There is a lack of employment. The highest retail inflation in the entire country is in Manipur. It's not even in Mumbai.
Yes.
And how are we going to deal with it? And despite having the highest retail inflation in Manipur, we even don't get LPG gases.
Yes.
We are perhaps may not even going to get petrol also
From the,
in a few days. We don't know. That's the whole point. That is the whole reality. So when we are into such trouble, who will be held responsible? If there is a problem in law and order, who will be held responsible? The SP or the DGP or the Home Minister or the Security Advisor or the Chief Minister or the Prime Minister or the Union Home Minister. Some people say there is Article 355 in the garb of whether having Article 355 or not. You cannot remain helpless in the eyes of the common people. So the issue remains is how long this will be made to be continued, because we cannot remain as a mere mute spectator. We means in the form of state. We expect the state should be proactive in this. Then if there is a problem, the people of Manipur feel that even to some extent our legislature also has failed. When our executive has failed, the only hope remains is in the judiciary.
Right.
So the people should have that faith in judiciary, at least to protect Article 21. What is happening? When somebody hits me, when somebody threatens me, when the state doesn't listen to me, protects my right to life, that is nothing but the state has almost failed to protect the right to life with dignity.
Right.
And that is where the Supreme Court will come, that is where the court will come, that is where the judiciary will come. Therefore, anyone who feels victimized or who feels threatened or who feels that his or her right to life with dignity is being snatched away in the form of any manner wherein the state has failed to protect, then that fellow, that dead aggrieved citizens must move the court. That is the point. But then we know there are criminals roaming around, not only in the valley but also in the hills.
Yes.
Why? Because they have grenades, they have AK-47s.
Right.
We don't have AK-47s. We don't have hand grenades. If somebody comes with AK-47, do I need to switch on the button of nuclear bomb? Supposing if I have a nuclear bomb button with me, then if I say, if you come and threaten me, I'll press the nuclear button, then who will dare to come to me? But I don't have, I neither have the nuclear button with me, nor AK-47, nor anything. But then I only have faith in the Constitution of India, in Article 21, right to life with dignity. Where has it gone? Here in the state of Manipur, criminals roaming around. What? We must provide electricity.
Okay.
Let there be electricity. Let there be a face recognition AI system, artificial intelligence. Our CCTV must be activated, and we must also ensure that let some drones move around, hover around to see what is happening here. There should be a police patrolling. They must do, because that is a job. The state must ensure that the common people, the people live without fear. But now there is an environment of fear. There is an environment of intimidations.
Right.
Intimidations that we don't know what will happen to us, because we don't have AK-47.
Right.
We don't have hand grenades. So from where these hand grenades, AK-47, from where these are coming? that source which has provided hand grenades, AK-47s, illegal arms, that must be stopped. Otherwise, the entire state will be not only in chaos, because see, when some criminal activities takes place, there is a money involved.
Right.
So who is financing that? So if somebody is caught under UAPA, now the situation is such that there has to be also an involvement of Prevention of Money Laundering Act. There's a black money going around.
Yes.
They are helping people to go and do such criminal activities. So not only that it's a mere crime, but there is also a mix of black money being laundered and used for the criminal activities to further enhance their illegal black businesses. And that in turn is destroying the state economy and also destroying right to life of the common people here in the state of Manipur. And this is where we must rise. The state must rise. Union government must rise. And we, the citizens, the people of Manipur also must rise and stand and fight for this in our honorable courts.
Thank you so much for your views, Mr. N. Bhupenda. That really did make a lot of sense. So continuing with that, Mr. P. Sonamani, would you like to add about how the black money is being laundered to make the black business thrive, as Mr. N. Bhupenda just mentioned?
You see, first thing is, states should prevail the law. If rule framer becomes the rule breaker, how can we follow it? 10 MLAs, including 2 ministers, they are willfully, they are contravening the law. They are the highest position, they are the rule framer. Even they themselves, they are not following, they are not obeying the law. There should not be any doubt that they are not behind the picture. Any kind of the problem happening today, Manipur is burning. You cannot say, I cannot say that their hands have not lent their support. Everybody knows it. We have not seen physically, but everything behind the picture, these are all orchestrating it. Whatever might be the situation, you see, when the law doesn't prevail in the state, when the head of the government or head of the state, of course, see Rajyapal Mahadaya, at this moment, I will not discuss about her position and about her role. She is a governor. But because the article present now, this situations is now handled by the both security advisor is under the governor, which they were not very keen to, let know the other citizens, but the government of Manipur, she knew it. Anyway, whatever, these are all the closed chapter. We want immediate, Bharat Sarkar should intervene it. They must try to give a fair bargain. Government of India should not play hide and seek game. We people, we are target. You see that Northeast, we don't produce anything much. See, there is one border called in the West Bengal and the Assam border, Sri Rampur. In a day, about 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 vehicles are being crossed. And the vehicles have to report there, from the other parts of the country have to report. The corruption begins from there itself, number one. The vehicles line up 1,000, 2,000, it's a huge area. They will try to bribe to their officers concerned that my vehicle, you can allow us to proceed first. So 1,000 rupees, 2,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees, this is the competition that began from there. Then Assam gate, there is a less extortion, I must say, because I have traveled enough from the West Bengal up to Manipur or the Nagaland by road, enough travel. I have seen by my own eyes. Biggest our problem, the issue began from the Nagaland and Assam border. There is almost 30-40 groups are there.
Right.
In all the checkposts, when we calculated, it's about 35-40, including the UG's group. Say about in one vehicle minimum 20, 30, 40,000. It's a regular affair.
Okay.
Police thickly involved. Central government, the staffs involved. Forest department involved. Local people involved. Who encouraged them? It is only the government.
But isn't there any way that this can be stopped?
No
this has
way
been going
out.
on. Okay.
It depends. That's why I said I was just trying to come. The transparency of the government is very much required. I was with the Honorable former Chief Minister and the former Governor, SC Jamir. I was his OST, officer on special duty. Way back 1986, there was a strike. All the Manipur trucks, they assemble in our Koiringe there, the airport, old airport.
Okay.
They line up about 200-300 trucks, about 2 days. I don't know how he could come to know. He was very kind enough. He asked me, Singh, yes sir, let's go tomorrow morning to Imphal. Sir, anything will. Oh, your Manipuri trucks are not plying. It is reported that let's go and see what is happening there.
Okay.
We came 3.5 hours, very speedily vehicle. He is very straightforward, very top guy. Every night he travels. He's a nocturnal bird. He is of that type. He was a governor for so many years, 7-8 years, chief minister 4-5 times.
Okay.
Even in the Nehru's period, he was the deputy railway minister. Very, very top guy. He met all the drivers concerned, those people. There was one man called from Uribok. He was the general secretary of truck driver union. Look, sir, he is no more today. So he asked, what happened to you? So they spoke in Hindi. Sir, हमारे गाड़ी नागालैंड में सब पैसा लेता है, तो हम लोग जा नहीं सकता है. कौन कौन लेता है सर इतने गेट में ये. That was the beginning it.
Okay.
That was 5 rupees, 10 rupees. Today is 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 1000, 2000, 3000.
Okay.
Those days I'm talking it. They will say, no, how it is possible it? Okay, tomorrow onwards you come. I am chief minister. I am your king in my own state. I will see to it that anything happen, you ring up to me. So we went back. He issued order to the IG. Those the DGP wasn't there. DGP post was not there. So he issued order. See to it that in the gate anybody harass Manipur vehicle, and if they illegally if they extort money, then please take adequate action. Action taken. Be informed to me. That he issued order immediately. He called his secretary.
Did it really have any impact?
Oh yes, impact. It was about 2-3 years it carried it.
Okay.
Maybe the quantum was minimized. Maybe there was, all Manipur drivers under the mercy of underground, under the mercy of all this, the racketers, and under the mercy of gundas. Because what they could do, we are landlocked state. Taking this in advantage in this 37 national highway, Nungba there is a post. There is a police station. There are some hotels. Another few years before, I could see that one innocent, one underground, one chap came along with one bag and the one umbrella. He was with a half pant with one sandal. Then he asked all the driver, "Have you got a piece of paper?" "Che mache lor bro." I said, "What? Ha. Come on, show me." He said, that was underground matter.
Okay.
10,000, 5,000, 20,000. Unless that man was collecting it conspicuously just near the Nungba police station.
Okay.
Openly, overtly, emboldenedly, no police, nobody could do anything.
So this
now
has been
at
an
this
issue.
juncture,
This issue has been going on, but do you
long
think
before, now taking advantage now.
Right.
All this again, the Chin cookie terrorists, they have started extorting money, they're sucking blood now.
Right.
So they would have 5,000 rupees, 20,000 rupees, 10,000 rupees. Now this such kind of unfortunate, because of this extortion, this has fallen the axe on us.
Right.
This petroleum, their associations or their LPG associations, all this our essential commodities. These people are crying, but who can control it?
Right.
Government of Manipur cannot control it.
Exactly.
Because transparency, one word is there. He will issue the order to DG. You see to it, DG cannot do it. Police involved himself.
Right.
If he says that every gate,
loopholes.
either willingly, unwillingly, they are collecting money or giving money.
Right.
I will not say that they extort money.
A lot of corruption. Okay.
Everything. This
Right.
is in our blood. And taking advantage now, all this, the criminal people of Chin Cookie Joes, they have also
will to do, and it needs the right person to do it. The next aspect which I assume bad people will come up. So what we are saying is that we need good people. They should intervene and they should try to resolve the crisis. Otherwise, we'll see the fate of dictators coming in and crisis. And I would at a certain point is that all those who are doing bad things today, they are the byproducts of bad governance. They are, if they had been given good administration, as Bupenda and Tamo was referring, if the government had intervened and if they were given economic resources, then loans, and then proper avenues, not mouthed through action, then we could have seen a good future. And we hope that the government will do something.
We really hope for that.
The extent of the level,
right?
At least not enter things you can overhaul. Certain percentage,
yes,
even 10% lesser also will get the cheaper prices.
Yes, absolutely
this is
right.
request to the government if there is any authority.
Right. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank our panelists. This brings us to the end of our debate tonight, and I'd like to thank our panelists once again for being here with us
so
and for all your
Thank
insights and perspective. And to our viewers, please stay informed and stay aware. We need a good administration that needs to intervene, and good governance, which is lacking at the moment, and good administration is required to solve all the issues, the Manipur conflict. And once again, I would like to thank our viewers for watching us tonight. Thank you so much. I'm your host, UTPALA LONGJAM, signing off for tonight. Thank you and stay safe.